welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be based on things that help you to meditate. I get a lot of people saying to me, I can't meditate because, and then they give many different types of reasons. And I have quite a few different ideas of things that I've learned along the way, as well as things that I've learned from my yoga course, of things that can help you to meditate. Meditation is not supposed to be easy, and it's not even always very relaxing. Meditation can cause you to go within and experience things that may not be comfortable to experience, but when we experience them, we are able to grow as people and train our mind and release those thoughts out of our minds, and then that will hopefully enable us to become happier, more joyful versions of ourselves. So these different tools, if you like, are quite accidentally all the different senses you have in the body. So every sense basically apart from taste. And this is based on the idea of meditation as a form of concentration. So during my yoga course, I was taught about the 8 limbs of yoga, which I have talked about previously in another video that I will link below. For this video, I want to focus on the last 3 limbs of yoga, and they are dana, dhyana, and samadhi. And dana means concentration. The very first step, if you like, of coming into our meditation practice after the first 5 limbs of yoga is concentration. So these tools that I have are tools that can help you to concentrate more easily. Dhyana is then your meditation. So when you have that concentration practice where you hold a concentration on a fixed point for a longer period of time, you begin to enter the form of meditation. And then samadhi is our realization. So I was taught that samadhi is the complete concentration of the mind. So I'm going to get started just first by talking about some types of meditation. This list isn't exhaustive, there are many different types of meditation. So the first one is the most obvious one, and that is seated meditation. If this is the type of meditation that you like, that is perfectly fine. But other forms of meditation can also include walking, a walking meditation, for somebody who doesn't feel like they can sit for long periods of time, or feels like they actually lose concentration if they are sat for long periods of time. And also there's exercise meditation. So one of the most obvious forms of that is yoga. But exercise meditation can also come in forms of, for example, running, or even any other exercise that allows you to become fully aware of the body, fully aware of the mind, and focus on only that exercise and nothing else is distracting you. It's important to consider the fact that there are more types of meditation, as this could help you to find the right one for you. So then I want to talk about the location that you meditate in. So if you're seated, it's very good to find a quiet space away from other people, a space that's comfortable, so you don't have to be sat in lotus posture, which is when you've got your legs crossed on top of each other. You don't have to even be sat on the floor. You can sit on a cushion, or you can even sit on a chair. And as long as you're not going to fall asleep, you can even lay down. And it's also important to consider things like lighting, whether the lighting is very harsh or whether it's lower, maybe a more relaxed type of lighting. And also the temperature of the room. You want to find that balance and be comfortably warm so that you're able to relax and go within, and you're not too distracted about the sensations in the body. So if you're walking, it's great to be able to get to walk in nature. It's not absolutely essential for a walking meditation, but if you can get out into nature, that can do wonders for the mind. And for exercise, so obviously if we're doing yoga, we're going to want to do yoga in a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere that's fairly warm, because we're going to be stretching the body. However, if you're doing a different type of exercise, you want to try and ensure that the area you do that exercise is also relaxing, or at least not distracting. So maybe doing it at a gym is probably not the best area, as there are lots of other people around, maybe different types of music in the background, and it could be quite distracting. So going for a run, for example, or run somewhere in nature is also a great location for an exercise meditation. So then I want to move on to sounds. So if you are going to listen to some kind of music or sounds, using headphones is a great option, as it can block out the rest of the world. If you are going to use music, there are lots of different types of meditation music you can use, or even something like piano. Anything that is maybe kind of repetitive. Also, try and choose a track that has no words, as the words can be quite distracting and actually influence your meditation. Unless, of course, it is a mantra piece of music, which I will talk about later. So some people don't want to use music, and that's perfectly fine. If you don't use music, you can do things like focusing on the sound of your breath. It's really important to come to the breath during meditation, and focusing on the sounds of the breathing in and out can actually be a really easy form of concentration. So then I've got a couple of other things that also might help you to meditate. So one of these things is a sound bowl. This is a sound bowl that I got in Rishikesh. It's a Tibetan sound bowl, but you can get these online. You can get different types. It doesn't have to be like this. Some of them are different colors and made of different materials. They have different sounds depending on the size or the material. You could find one that resonates with you, and you can use this either the whole way through your meditation, like so, or keeping it going by going around. Or you could just do maybe 1 or 2 taps at the start of the meditation and at the end of the meditation, and that can help your brain to know, okay, it's time to start concentrating, like kicking it into gear. And then the other sound aid that I have is chimes. So basically they work in the same way. You can symbolize to yourself and to your mind that it's time to start your meditation by just doing a gentle chime. So then we move on to smell. So obvious one might be a candle. Other ones can include essential oils. So for example, I have a few different essential oils that I use, but the one I'm currently using is lavender. Lavender is very relaxing to the body and to the mind, but there are other types of essential oils that can give you different benefits. So there are some that are very uplifting, some that are supposed to make you feel happy and joyful, others that are supposed to make you feel more alert. So depending on what you want to get out of your meditation, you could choose an essential oil to do that. And there are different ways of using essential oils. Simply to put a drop on your wrist or in your hands, rub it in and take a deep breath in, put it in a diffuser, allow the scent to naturally go over you. Another thing that you could use is incense. So the idea of the smells is that it activates your senses. So somebody might be having difficulty concentrating, but when they smell that one thing, it can bring their senses and their mind all together onto that point and allow that concentration to happen. So it's actually quite a very simple and basic mechanism that happens, and it's often not even to do with the smell at all. However, if we combine it with a smell that you really enjoy, that's very relaxing to you, then that can also then have benefits to help you to have a good meditation. So then I want to move on to your view. So it could be a beautiful view of a landscape, and that can be real. You're there in nature looking at this beautiful view. It can be a picture of a landscape, or it can even be imagined. So you often will get the same emotions, the same mechanisms happening in the body, and the same feelings whether you're seeing the real thing or not. Using a picture or maybe a statue of someone or something that you feel devoted to or care for very much. So this can be anything really that's meaningful to you. It could be a religious figure, it could be a picture of somebody in your life that you love, or something that means a lot to you. And you can look at that and focus on it and see every tiny detail, see everything that it is, the colors, the shapes, how it makes you feel, and that can be your form of concentration. So moving now more inwards to the mind. Many people find silence disturbing. Even listening to music, they can get distracted. And one thing that could help with that is creating a mantra. Now, a mantra could be just one word. It could be calm. And you can say to yourself repeatedly throughout your meditation, and eventually your mind will start to take that on and to start believing that itself. It could also be a phrase of something that you want to achieve, like an affirmation or something that you want to reinforce within yourself. It is important that whatever you choose, it must be very meaningful to you. So there's no point really in taking someone else's ideas for a mantra, because it's got to be something that means something to you deep down. However, there are some widely used mantras. So one of those could be Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which means may all beings be happy and free, and may my thoughts and actions contribute to the freedom and happiness of all beings. So in addition to that, one thing that you could use to help you with your mantra, or just meditation in general, is mala beads. And there are 108 beads on this necklace, and then an extra one here. What you can do is start at this end with the mala beads in your hand, hold each bead, and with each bead you can say the mantra. You can keep going along, and over the whole meditation you will end up saying the mantra 108 times, which is a sacred number. You can also just use the mala beads maybe in your hands, maybe as something to hold, something to fiddle with, as that can also be another tool of concentration. So then that brings me to my last tool, which is a crystal. So you can simply hold the crystal, maybe feel the weight of it, maybe feel the different texture of it, and that can be a type of touch concentration. You can just bring all your awareness to how this feels within your hands. Some people believe in the power of crystals, that they contain different vibrational energies and these can affect the body in some way. So that's an added benefit if that's something that you believe in, but it doesn't have to be a crystal. It could be simply a figure of a deity or a god that you believe in. It could be a cross that you are holding. It can be something that is meaningful to you. So that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to cover today. There's an endless list of things that you could use to help you meditate. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon in the next video.